Good morning ating mga kaibigan from the press. Okay? Thank you for coming. This is parang, as you know, between the first time we met na parang press conference, this is the second time lang. But in between, if you notice, nagpe-press release so ang inyong INEC to give you an update more or less on what is happening sa INEC. But gaya ng napag-usapan natin, we would like to have a regular press briefing sort of para lang, well, one, para magkita-kita lang tayo din, and also para din kung may mga tanong kayo na hindi na-address ng aming mga press release, matanong natin on what is going on sa INEC, no? So this is actually our second parang press conference. I would like to call it parang GM's report, no? To the people of Ilocos Norte, our MCOs, no? Our members of the electric cooperative in the province of Ilocos Norte. So if you will allow me, and then we will just open it for questions later. May mga opening statement lang ko with regarding to two important events sort of dito sa probinsya ng Ilocos Norte with regards to their electric power. First of all, and this was, ito naman talaga yung importante dito sa atin, our power rates, no? From the last time we met. As you know, and even the good governor, mentioned this during his SOPA, since the month of September, when you got your bill, bumaba na po yung ating ang ating rates sa kuryente by 3% by 3 pesos from the previous month of August, no? So nung September bumaba po yan ng basically around 11.55, no? From the previous 14 more or less. This is for residential. There are different rates for low voltage and higher voltage, but I won't get into that anymore. Konti lang naman ang diferensya, pero iba lang kasi ang kwenta nun whenever we do the rates, no? But so I'll stick to the residential. I think that's more up naman for most of the MCOs of the users, no? So in September, the bill that we all got is about 11.55 per kilowatt hour. In October, the bill that you got for your October bill, bumaba po yan. We were able to further bring it down by 50 centavos. Nag-average na siya ng mga, actually, the exact amount there is about 10.99. Below 11, pero more or less mga 11 point something yon, depende. But more importantly, the way we would like to present it, bumaba na, from the 3 pesos na binaba in September, yung October, it was further brought down by 50 cents. So basically, lahat-lahat yon, about 3 pesos and 50 centavos from in the last 2 months. Let me just attribute yung October na extra 50 cents. Nanggaling po yung extra 50 cents doon sa 0.30. The 30 cents is from the over-recovery that hindi na we're supposed to return to the consumers. Let me just give a backgrounder lang on the over-recovery. Through the years, pagka meron tayong increase yung kontrata ang electric co-op with a power provider, that contract on the rate is submitted to ERC. The ERC is the Energy Regulatory Commission that regulates the rates. Okay? So, ang nangyayari po, kukuha tayo ng kontrata, makikipagkontrata tayo sa mga power provider for San Miguel, for Aboitiz, and all the other providers. That contract should be approved by ERC. In the meantime, habang hindi pa ina-approve, that contract is being applied. Ang nangyayari, unfortunately, it takes quite a number, kuminsan taon, bago lumabas yung approved ni ERC. Ang nangyayari, kuminsan, hindi lang kuminsan, madalas, yung kontrata is more than what is approved by ERC. In our particular case, years ago, that contract, the contract that was signed by the previous, hindi yun ang inapprove ni ERC. So may sumobra. May sumobra doon sa sinisingil namin sa inyo, sa ating mga consumers, no? Hindi naman what you call this, hindi naman kasalanan ng electric cooperative yon, because yun yung contract eh. Yun yung binabayad niya kay power provider. Okay? So therefore, yun ang remember, ang presyo ng kuryente pinapasa lang po yan sa ating mga consumers. Okay? So there will come a time pag lumabas na yung desisyon ng ERC, sumobra yung sinisingil, yung pinapasa sa inyo based on the contract, that is what they call over-recovery. We need to return that to you. Okay, so actually, through the years, even before, without going to the details, ang nagdesisyon ng ERC, we need to return about 300 million. Doon actually nag-umpisa ang kalbaryo ng INEC. Okay? We need to return about 300 million na paunti-unti sa inyo. Okay? When inumpisahan nila yun sinosoli sa inyo, baka hindi lang nyo napapansin dahil talagang napakataas ng kuryente noon, pero nagsosoli po sila. However, at a certain point, nung talagang hindi na maayos yung financial woes ng INEC, they stopped returning that. Okay? So, when we took over, okay, tinignan natin yung financial statement at in fact, hindi na, I think the good Senator Amy Marcos mentioned this in her statement, and also as you know naman, under pressure din tayo because the governor really, this was my first marching order really, is to bring down the price, the rates of electricity, no? So yun ang unang talagang marching order ni Governor Matthew sa atin when we got here dito sa INEC, no? So what we did there is, of course, kinausap yung sa mga power supplier natin, they were kind enough na tinignan namin yung mga figures na ibabaya ng 3 pesos. And then to further bring it down, ayun nga yung ginawa po natin, niresume natin yung pagsole ng over recovery. That is 30 cents then. So may 30 cents na additional when we started returning the over recovery in October. So may 30 cents. Now, saan nanggaling yung 20 cents para maging 50? We also found out when we took over that may style pala. May style pala on the WESM trading. Okay. Energy, just to explain also, ganito po yung energy. Yung rate po natin, kung magkano po binenta ni power provider sa atin. Okay. Yung rate na yon, ganun ko binibili yung power na yon per kilowatt hour. In this particular case, 6.75 yung rate na yon. But during the day, in our intervals, per hour yon, you can order, our contract with San Miguel has a maximum of 51 megawatts in a day, no? But during the day, pwede ka namang hindi 51 megawatts ang ino-order mo from the power provider. Kasi titignan mo yon dun sa WESM, do market, yun yung general market ng power. Kung mas mababa dun sa 675, dun sa WESM, you want to order from WESM rather than get it from your contract. Okay? So, that is what they call WESM trading. So, nung nakarating tayo dito, tinignan natin yon. So, we came to the conclusion, pwede pa nating ibaba to. Galingan lang natin to. No? Galingan lang natin to. Pagka ganitong oras, ang baba ng WESM, so hindi ako bibili doon sa kontrata ko. Okay? Pero pagka ganitong oras, ang taas ng WESM, in fact, it goes so high pag peak hours. WESM is the general market for everybody in the Philippines, so to speak, para magka-idea lang kayo. So for example, yung WESM, during certain hours, dahil konti pa yung bumibili doon sa WESM, sa umaga, okay? Sa umaga, nakaalis na yung mga tao sa bahay nila, nasa kalye na sila, mababa. WESM is about, I was looking at it, mga nasa 4 pesos. And therefore, 675 yung kontrata natin. So we ordered our traders, pag ganitong oras, alas 8 ng umaga, konti lang ang bibilin mo sa kontrata natin. Para most of it, bibilin mo kay WESM. And therefore, lamang tayo ron. Pero pagka ganitong oras, okay, alas 3 ng hapon, ang taas ng presyo because everybody's at work, nakabukas ang mga aircon sa buong Pilipinas and all of that. Ang taas ng WESM, kung minsan nasa 17 pesos. And therefore, isasagad mo yung 51 megawatts ng ating kontrata. So that's in a nutshell, parang in general, ganun ang trading. So pagalingan yon. Okay. Pagalingan at saka actually hindi naman siya pabilisan dahil 12 o'clock nang kailangan sinubmit mo na yung lahat ng oras na yon. Ganito. Ang key doon, dapat marunong ka for dalawa yon, for the province of Ilocos Norte. Okay? Dito sa Ilocos Norte, we're lucky, lucky in a sense, pero yung iba titignan to na hindi tayo masyadong lucky. Wala tayong masyadong industriya. Okay, so walang constant need kasi wala naman po tayong masyadong factories. Okay? So ang ating agriculture, Ilocos Norte is agriculture, tourism, no? Walang masyadong manufacturing. So hindi tayo, yung kuryente, hindi masyadong titignan doon. So ang sa atin, yung mga opisina natin, so makikita natin kung kailan mataas ang konsumo. Okay? So and therefore, kung hindi naman mataas ang konsumo, i-minimum natin, which is about 25 megawatts lang ang ino-order natin. So, I know it's a little bit complicated, but basically, the principle of the trading, makakatipid tayo doon pag magaling yung nagtitrade natin. So, yun medyo we have traders here at INEC, and I also took parang every day bago mag-submit ng trading natin, tinitignan natin yon. So, medyo inaaral natin yon. So, in short, for the month of October, nakabawas tayo ng 20 cents. From the 675, may 20 cents pang nabawas. So, kaya yung ating rate bumaba pa ng further from the over recovery 30 cents at saka 20 cents. So hopefully as we go along we even get better at that, so hindi lang 20 cents ang matipid natin. So that's how that decrease was done. Okay? So again, that's good news. Naibaba na natin sa 10.99, basically 11 for the residential. The target is, before I came to this news conference, tatalo sa isip ko na babanggitin ko sa inyo to. The target is, or sige, babanggitin ko na rin, my promise to the governor and to Senator Amy is we will bring down the cost of the target. Hindi ko na promise. The target is to bring down the cost of power rates to single digits by the first quarter of 2024. No? Kaya lang, merong medyo masalimuot to. Okay, sabi ko kay Governor, I need your help. Because the only way we can further bring it down is yung rates pa natin from our power provider. Okay, ayun, hindi na kaya ng powers ko yun. Okay. So kailangan ko na doon ang tulong, of course, our political leadership with Senator Amy and of course our governor. So in fact, they're helping us to talk to our renewable providers, yung mga ating mga bisita dito na actually hindi natin pinapakinabangan. Because ganun naman ang not their fault. Not their fault because that's the setup of energy. Okay? Hindi pa natin pinapakinabangan actually in terms of the rates our windmills, pero yun kasi may rason yun eh. They're all underfit, hindi pa sila pwedeng magbenta sa labas. Okay? So, but one of them, I understand, will expire, that restriction will expire in 2025. Okay, so, yun, tinutulungan tayo nila Governor doon. So, hopefully. The other one is the solar. Marami na pong nagtayo ang solar. So, I actually asked the governor kung matulungan ang INEC na makabili tayo kahit na pakonti-konti, 2 megawatts, 3 megawatts dun sa mga solar. That will help a lot. That is the only way we can bring down the rates. Mababa na yung 675. Pero that's coal. Okay? That 675 is coal. Ang renewable energy po kasi, mababa yan. Pag renewable energy ang binibili, I think the latest approvals of ERC is around for solar, nasa 6 something, 5 something. Wind and hydro, mas mababa pa. Ang INEC has a hydro plant, the one in Pagudpud, no? It's producing about, right now, mahina ang agos ng tubig, so about 300 megawatts. Pero ang maximum niyan is about 1.9 kilowatts. So almost 2 kilowatts, 2 megawatts. Malaking bagay po yon. Malaking bagay po yon. In fact, I visited them. So may mga problema paayos, okay? I even joke. Yung ating pong hydro sa Pagudpud, ang nagtayo pa po niyan si Apo. Okay? So sabi ko nga doon sa mga in charge doon, there is no way na hindi natin patakbuhin to ng maayos. Binibiro ko pa nga, mumultuhin tayo ni Apo rito. Not to mention na mapapagalitan ako pag tumakbo yun. So we're doing that. And the practical aspect of that is that kailangan, malaking bagay yun. Ang hydro, we're buying it actually from one hand to another dahil tayo may-ari nung hydro. No? We're buying it at 4 pesos something. Mababa ang renewable. So we have to do, so now, I'm telling you all of this para lang malaman nyo, hindi naman ho kayo nanguhula. Di ba? Baka sabihin nyo si GM nag-iimbento lang yan kung paano ginagawa. So I'm trying to explain to you how we're trying to do it para nga hopefully yung ating, hindi ko nga sasabihin pangako, yung target nga, single digit first quarter of 2024. So, patulong lang ako sa inyo doon. Okay? In relation to the rates, okay, I would like to announce also that we have signed a emergency power supply agreement with Aboitiz Group, Aboitiz Power. No? Ang nangyari po kasi dito, we want to lock the rates and the supply. Hindi naman lingid sa inyong kalaman nyo, delikado na naman po ang supply ng power at ang presyo ng power because of what is happening in the Middle East. So we need to lock the supply and the rates. So this is the best way to go about this. So at least for the year, under the Emergency Power Supply Agreement, which is EPSA, we have locked the rate. In fact, mas mababa pa nga sa 6.75. We were able to close it at 6.65. So another 10 cents na ibinaba yun, no? Per kilowatt hour. Yun yung bili natin, don't get confused. Bakit 11 mo? Kasi may mga iba pang charges. Oh. Pero yung rate, yung power itself, we were able to close it at 6.65. Another further 10 cents decrease. Hopefully, mag-reflect yon in your next billing. Kasi we just started that last week. But more importantly for me, we really had to sort of rush that because nga yung namimintong kaguluhan sa Middle East, that will affect power. So, mabuti na rin na sigurado na tayo dun sa supply natin at least for the year. Okay? There is yung EPSA, 1 taon lang naman yon. And then, ang pupuntahan natin doon is the long-term power supply agreement. Okay? Dito na pumapasok yung binabanggit natin sa inyo na doon sa long-term power supply agreement, the idea is to get it from renewables because that will really bring down the rates kasi nga mababa ang renewable. Okay, so that is the direction that your INEC is going to take. So, padasalin naman ng mga Ilocano. So, haluan natin ng dasal na sana maayos lahat yun. Okay? 1 year lang yan, yung EPSA. Okay? But, of course, dun sa long-term power agreement, I'm sure they will bid kasi for bid na yun eh. Okay? And ang maganda sa although the others have that also. Aboitiz has renewables, okay? Not necessarily here, but outside. So ipapadala lang yon. Mababa yon. So in fact, we will like to start talks with them kahit na mix. May coal at may renewable, no? And then meron tayong na-finalize na, although binibuild pa lang, na embedded na renewable. So, when I say embedded, nandito sa Ilocos Norte yun. That will further bring it down. Kasi walang transmission cost yun, nandito na yun. So, mas bababa pa yun. So, all of that, kaya malakas ang loob ko dun sa may target na single digit. Pag lahat yan, may awang Apo Diyos, lahat yan, ma-plancha natin, then we will really bring it down. At least for the province of Ilocos Norte. Okay, so that's with regards to the power rate, no? Okay. When I first came here, ang sinasabi ko lagi, even with people here at INEC, dalawa lang ang trabaho ng GM, no? One is to bring down the power rates. That's a political promise, so to speak, no? Dahil syempre, pagka mataas ang power, ang inaaway natin yung mga political leaders natin. So yun yung sabi ko kay Governor, yun ang isang tatrabahuhin natin, Gov. So naibaba na natin yun, although we want to further bring it down. The other one is, of course, the efficiency of the services of your electric cooperative, which is INEC. Okay? Anong nangyayari dun sa efficiency natin? Yung efficiency natin, one, efficiency is, ang kanyang definition for me is, may kuryente ba kayo? Hindi ba kayo nagbo-brown out? That is, I'm sure, that is the layman's definition of efficiency for you. Pag may kuryente kayo, hindi nagbo-brown out, then you think, ang tingin nyo is maganda ang ginagawa ng INEC. No? So, we also address that. Okay? Isang connection sa efficiency is our relationship with NGCP. Okay? I will say this in fairness to NGCP kasi lagi na silang laman ng kuminsan ng mga reklamo ko. Okay? In fairness to NGCP, we have sat down with NGCP and at ginagawa na nila, we are in strong coordination na yung mga power outages is fully we are fully notified, and also on their end they have promised and they are doing that already. They are upgrading their system para hindi na puputol-putol. They are doing that already. I can vouch for that na ginagawa na nila yon. In fact, ang usapan namin, kung mag-upgrade kayo, kahit na mag-request kayo sa akin ng power interruption, I will readily approve that basta upgrading. So if you, pagpasensyahan nyo kami kung merong power interruption caused by the upgrading. Pag upgrading kasi ng mga system, easily ina-approve natin yon because para sa atin din yon. Pag na-upgrade ang mga system, especially ng NGCP, then that is better service for the province of Ilocos Norte. Okay, so an end to that, in relation to that also, I was told, isa ring reason ng putol-putol ng mga power interruption natin is that nawala yung ating mga road clearing. Okay? For some reason, the previous management took out yung mga nagki-clear ng road. Pag yung puno, marami ng dahon, tumatama sa kuryente, sa linya. Yan ang cause ng tripping at nawawala yung kuryente. Okay. So, if you notice, meron tayo madalas na ganyan, no? In fact, the immediate solution lang doon, I gave instructions na pag kami nag-trip, you report to us right away, paiikutan natin. Ang mahirap po kasi dyan, mano-mano yan. Iikutan po ng ating mga lineman, titignan niya kung nasaan yung cost ng trip. Tapos tsaka pa lang niya maayos. So yung pag-ikot pa lang, that takes time. Dahil syempre, titignan niya, lalo na pagkagabi. So kinukwento ko po sa inyo to para lang maintindihan nyo. Because again, that's efficiency. Pero, yesterday we had a board meeting, nagpa-approve ako. We will do the whole province of Ilocos Norte dahil napabayaan nga yan. We will do starting November hopefully. One time, big time. Kumbaga, one time, big time. Road clearing. We will get funding for people and equipment. Kahit na mag-rent lang muna kami ng equipment, yung mga manlift, no? Tapos hihiram ako, susulat ako sa mga mayor, kasi yung mga LGU meron nun, pahiram muna. Iwa one time, big time namin yon in all 6 areas of the province. So, yung mga area manager po natin, bibigyan niya tayo ng listahan. Ito po, street na to, kailangan tirahin na natin. Sobrang dami na ng vegetation. So titirahin natin yan. We have about 30-50 people there. 3-4 na equipment para maklear yun. We reckon for the whole province of Ilocos Norte, siguro that will take us 1 month. No? Kasi medyo napabayan yun eh. Hingi ako ng tulong sa inyo. Kasi once we start that operation, ang isang sinasabi sa amin, kung minsan, alam naman nyo, dinaanan, yung puno ng mangga, tumatama na dun sa linya ng kuryente, nakikipag-away yung may-ari ng puno ng mangga. Ayaw paputol yung dahon. So, in fact, I will write also the mayors papatulong with regards to that. Hindi naman puputulin yung buong puno ng mangga. Pero kailangan lang talaga natin maklear yun. So, yun ang mga nagiging problema. So, dapat we should all be on the same page here. Anyway, that's for our good. Kaya tayo nagpa-power interruption. Yung mga unannounced power interruption is caused by the vegetation. So, titirahin na natin yon by the first week of, hopefully by the next week of November. I got approval from the board to parang allocate the funds for that. No? Yes, additional employment also yon. So, in fact, ang plano is papadaan natin sa mga kapitan kasi maganda kasi yon yung barangay yung barangay kapitan, mga tao niya, kasi para sila nga din yung nakikipag-usap doon sa mga tao para hindi nakipag-away. That's why we started in November because I know naman may barangay election. So baka iba na yung mga kapitan. So sa November, we start natin yon. Hopefully, in our estimation, mga isang buwan ng buong probinsya ng Ilocos Norte. Okay? Also, in relation to that also, yung PLDT, nakausap ko na rin, ang nangyari, yung mga telco, nakakabit sila sa mga poste natin. Yung iba, sobrang dami na nila na puputol, na nakaka-apekto sa kuryente natin. So, I also sat down with them, so that is being addressed also, no? So just indulge us, just give us more time on this. This is on the efficiency. So, yun ang aking report sa inyo. Again, like I said, I think for INEC, for you to para wag naman yung masabing nakaupo-upo lang ako dito. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think yung trabaho ko dito is to address lang 2 issues lang. The rates, which naikwento ko po sa inyo, yun ang ginagawa po natin dun sa rates, no? And also efficiency, INEC efficiency. So yun yung INEC efficiency, medyo mas matagal yun, di ba? In fact, as we go along, alam dito ng mga staff ko, every day, I've been here for almost 2 months, pero every day, meron akong nadidiscover, bakit ganun ginawa yun? Ba't ganun ginawa, no? In fact, hindi efficiency ay, kwento ko na rin sa inyo. For example, nag-consolidate ang INEC ng mga bank accounts. Okay? Para konti na lang yung mga bangko. Kasi lahat ng bangkong nakikita nyo dito sa probinsya ng Ilocos Norte, may account ang INEC dyan. Tama naman ang rason nila. Okay? Tama naman ang rason nila because most of the banks are collecting collecting agents. Okay? So, I totally agree with that. Kaya medyo kalat-kalat. However, I just found out yesterday yata yun, basta this week. Kasi may account ako sa Robinson. So nung pagpunta ko doon, sinabi sa akin na yung Robinson daw, dati may account doon, tinanggal. So, I have no problem with that dahil Robinson kilala ko, tinanggal. My point lang being, that's why I was kinda irritated. Robinson is the only bank who's in a mall. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Sabado, bukas siya. And therefore, it will make it more convenient for our MCOs na magbayad doon. So, I do not understand, di ba? Yun ang sa akin. That's why everything that we do, I have no problem. It has to be logical. Okay? I understand we're consolidating accounts. Pero bakit mo tinanggal yung bank, the only bank that is in a mall, that is open on a Saturday? So, yung mga ganon, no? Hindi ko naman sinasabing napaka galing natin, but, di ba, parang common sense yun. If we want it to be more convenient for our MCOs na magbayad, dapat yung mga ganon pinag-iisipan. So, in fact, I ordered na ibalik yun, no? Because those banks are serving as collecting agents, collecting banks, okay? Pag nagbabayad tayo, ang ginagawa lang po natin, yung mga pera doon sa collecting banks na yun, tinatransfer doon sa talagang bangko natin, which is Land Bank, DBP, tapos doon tayo nagbabayad sa mga power providers. That's how it is set up. So, again, yun na nga, yung efficiency lang, please give us more time there. Every day we discover certain things na pagka may nakita naman po tayong tamang ginagawa, yun ang trabaho ko rito. Kung okay naman, tama naman, fine. Then let's continue. Kung mali, baka pwede nating baguhin so that we're better efficient. Ay, lahat ng bangko meron. Okay lang naman ako doon. Okay lang naman ako doon sa lahat ng bangko. Pero meron naman, may mga kinat na, may mga sinara. I was just surprised, but sinara yon. Not because for anything, but because nga, yung bangko na yon nasa mall. Di ba? That's the only bank that's in a mall. Di ba? In fact, yung BDO that is not part of the Robinsons Group. Kasi ang Robinsons, Gokongwei yan. So, siyempre, yung Robinsons Bank nasa mall nila. Even BDO na SM Group yun eh. Wala pa naman yung SM eh. Mga kampayan eh. 2025 pa si SM eh. 18 months ang construction ni SM eh. O si BDO nga, nandun sa Robinsons, bukas din siya pag Sabado, if I'm not mistaken. Kasi malaking bagay, in Manila, as you all know, pag nasa Manila kayo, lahat ng bangko nasa mall eh. Kasi nga, Sabado, bukas siya eh. At saka doon pumupunta ang tao. Ang sa akin lang, we really have to make it more convenient for our MCOs. Gumawa tayo ng paraan pa. Tapos, sisingilin natin dahil hindi ka nagbabayad eh. Di sasagutin tayo. Kasi mahirap magbayad eh. Di ba? Sa Dingras, ang layo ng Dingras eh. Di ba? In fact, even in the area offices, I found out walang credit card, walang debit. So, yun din, I told FSD, kunin nila yung mga offer from the banks para malagyan ng mga debit payment scheme yung ating mga area offices. That will also help our MCOs.